Good morning. Tuesday morning on this balmy, cold morning. Barbara Richardson, welcome. Tyler Fine, welcome. Jan Akins, Wendy Chadwick, Jeremy and Wendy, welcome back from Haiti. First morning back. We've been praying for you. We are excited to hear about the details of your trip and how God worked in and through you. Mike and Joe Stromberg, welcome. Debbie King, thanks everybody for showing up this early in the morning. And thank you everybody who watches this later in the day. Morning everybody. Sally Crocker, let's see, Janisa Bush, good morning. It is about 30 degrees out here this morning. I saw on my phone that it's like 1 degree up at Kirkwood. I've been tracking the weather because I keep looking for a window of opportunity to go up and do an overnighter. I love camping at least one time in the winter up in the snow, and so we'll see when that might take place. Stephen Andrea, good morning to you. Welcome everybody. We were in Psalm 56 this morning, and I loved my time in this psalm this morning, and it's sometimes hard to choose which psalm that I want to sit and just dwell on. So many speak to my heart in unique ways. This one this morning was so fun to meditate on, and I just found so much encouragement from it. It's a Psalm of David, and he is, we get a little bit of information about the context of the psalm. It's written that he wrote this when he fled from Saul to the Philistine city of Gath. And so we can go back and look, where this is in the Old Testament. We see the context that we know David has been anointed as king, and then when he entered into the king's service under King Saul, Saul was very jealous of him and was angry all the time, wanted to kill him, in fact was actively plotting his death. And so he had to flee, and he and a few of his men, and Jonathan even went out to meet him, to warn him, saying, don't come back, there's a special feast going on, do not show up for the feast, it's a part of the plot to kill you. So this is really despairing for David. He and Jonathan, cry together and hug and they part company. Maybe they're not going to see each other again. I don't know what they're thinking, but they're very distraught. And David flees to a foreign city, thinking, I'll be safe here because I'm not in a city in Israel. Well, while he's in that foreign city in Gath, the Philistines happen to recognize him. He's probably trying to lay low. But they recognize him and say, this is David. This is the one who has, if Saul has killed his thousands, then David's killed tens of thousands, So he is somehow in the king himself of that city is hosting David somehow. I don't know all the details. I didn't do any further study on it. But so David is there. And now the Philistines are plotting to see, how do we take this guy out? Because he's one of our enemies. So, and so David pens this psalm, Psalm 56. And I love it. Just because it's so relatable. No one's obviously trying to maybe conspire to take our lives, but we can relate at so many levels. So I'll read a few verses. So he begins, be gracious to me, O God, for man tramples on me. All day long an attacker oppresses me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many attack me proudly. So his enemies are King Saul and the conspirators in Gath. And so everybody's looking at him to try to take him down. Keep in mind, David has been anointed by God to be the next king of Israel. And so he knows this. He has this information, and nothing is going right for him. He runs from Saul, only to fall into the hands of the Philistines, and he's really feeling this. You look at verse 5. He says, "All day long they injure my cause." Another translation of that phrase in the text note of my Bible says, "They twist my words." And their thoughts are all their thoughts, are against me for evil. So even though he's not doing anything, but trying to be faithful in his loyal service to Saul, Saul takes his words and twists them and thinks that David himself is doing something evil against him, so he's conspiring to kill David. And it's like, come on, guys, I'm for you. We're same team here. Why are you twisting my words and conspiring against me? It's really a struggle for him. I don't want to discount at all what David is feeling. In fact, he says this, and they stir up strife, they lurk, they watch my steps. I can't take a step here or there without thinking someone's listening to a conversation. Around that corner, somebody may be lying in wait for me. That's his sense. And at night, he can't sleep. He says, "You have kept count of my tossings." This is verse 8. So he's rolling around in bed, like can't sleep. His mind is occupied by these things. And he says, you have put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? I love that imagery. One of the things I used to do with our girls when they were little is that every time they would cry, not every time, but oftentimes they would cry, I would capture their tears from their cheek, and I'd put them in my pocket. I go, "Oh, can I have your tears? I want your tears." And I'd put them in my pocket. Now I'm going to keep those tears, and it would almost always console them. And it was just a fun way of saying, I hear you, I see that you're distraught, your tears are important to me, so I wanted to keep those tears, and I put them in my pocket. So that image really struck me this morning. God sees David's anguish. He sees what he's going through. So how does David console himself? How does he, he flees from one to the safety of another, then the safety